Do that. Alright, so never actually into the game. We have Dracont as the Turks, surprisingly. I'm not entirely sure we see a repeat. I didn't see the game. I just like fastly sped through these games to make sure they worked at the time. And Terror as the Malay. Malay vs Turks. Are you thinking Fast Arbalast is the way you're going to find your way out of this?
Fast Arbalast or Monks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Depends
good.
on the distance.
Yeah, pretty good map here for Dracont. I mean, he doesn't have to play aggressive, but of course when you're Turks against Malay, you probably want to.
Usually against Gunpowder, it always is a roll of the dice. You either go Monks and you just hope for lucky convert, or you go Crossman and you hope that the Gunpowder misses you. So that's why I hate Gunpowder games. They always end up with some heavy micro, and whoever gets luckier usually wins. So I don't know what Terror decides to do, but
Terror basically has all the relics on the right side of his base, though properly nestled. He has really got quite ease getting those.
He has a backstone in gold, but that's not enough to really go Arbs off, I think, with everything else forward.
Yeah, the main gold's pretty dubious. If I was him, I would probably just be straight up considering crossbows and TC that main gold and just maybe do some sort of like 2 TC fast aim Barbalast kind of shenanigans. That's kind of the best I would pull off. Yeah.
That would seem the best thing, yeah. Problem with Monks is that if you start with Monks, he can get the forward castle on you for no problem at all. So you never really can start off Monks against Turks or Spanish unless you do really, really fast up. But
yeah, I'm not too keen on the idea of Monks at the moment because he's really going to be relying on bomber cannons. If he opens with Monks, he's going to want to try and get to those quick, which is not obviously much of an option. It depends though how Dracont wants to place his castle.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of it just depends on the first castle placement. If the castle is back and Terror does 2 monastery monks, he can survive against Janissary while booming comfortably on 3 TCs, which is really good. But then if Dracont gets the castle forward right next to his gold, then he only has 1 gold left to get monks by and to go imp with, so that isn't enough. And he will be in big trouble. So
I'm not too used to seeing Terror take that much map control. He does occasionally go scouts, but I never really see him ever going crossbow.
Yeah, that's it. So I imagine he just booms, to be honest. Maybe just
the Terror way, just don't care.
Yeah, that's it.
That's basically all of us at this point. It looks like, yeah, in terms of extras, we only have the 1 out on the map, so it looks like if Dracont really does hit head on, he's going to really claim the left side, so Terror really can't get those extras and the top right there.
Yeah, I just, to be honest, if I was Terror right now, I would be already in a bad mood seeing my gold mines. I just like, what is this against Turks? He kind of, if he booms, I don't know how boom can work against Turks with this map. Honestly, I don't think it's a good option. But he's probably going to do it anyway. So
it just depends. I mean, if Dracont's not all in, then a double monastery opening might be enough. If he's just going Janissaries and booming behind, then I think that might be enough. But that's just expecting the strategy, and if you get that wrong, you're dead. But
that's it. There's a lot of luck. You just have to guess and hope you're right. But
I'm thinking. Normally I would play this crossbows, but if I wasn't, I would play this kind of fast imp monk treb. That would be my go-to in this situation. Because you can regain those gold mines quick enough with that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could work. The risk then, of course, is if Dracont decides to go like Cavalry 3TC instead of Janissary, then you're basically already dead. Well, okay. You're not dead, but you're in a bad position.
Yeah, even with the economy, if you actually prepare a castle in the midst of things and you're still going to be behind trying to boom with the Malays extra villagers, it's not ideal. Although we see Dracont up at 26 plus 2 and going on stone.
Well, that's 1 TC Janissary right there. Yeah.
But it's not as exceptional as his 27+2. He's not going to be going... With this would be cool. I think he actually could go scouts if he wanted to.
Dracont? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's 27+2, yeah, I think... Yeah, he could definitely afford a Rax and Stable Blacksmith at the moment.
It would make his economy not ideal, but yeah, he probably could. He won't though, because he knows Terror isn't going to go like cavalry or anything like that. So there's no point.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he's going to build it forward, but the 3 on gold, that's unusual.
That just means that he's predicting that he will have enough food, and that means he doesn't have to keep adding more because the 3 with Turks will just give him the right amount later. I think. Like, there's nothing wrong with having 3 on gold if you have enough food.
He's going scouts.
Oh, he is going scouts.
I told you. And Terror, is he going to go crossbows? Is he going to go scouts?
Oh.
More than likely scouts, I think.
Okay, I am surprised he put 3 on gold if he's going scouts. Okay, I guess he's just worked out this build so that you put 3 on that fast, you have just enough to go up, and then you don't have to add more on the gold. So you have exactly enough to do what you need.
Okay, interesting. We're seeing a range from Terror. I wasn't expecting this. Maybe he was actually designed to play serious for a tournament for a change, but
what is going on?
This is very unique. I would describe this as. This is interesting.
I've never seen him go across for men in my life. I'll just say it the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, he might... I don't know, what is he planning? I mean, looking at the amount he has in gold, he's taking the back gold. I don't know why he's taking the back gold first.
If he's planning on getting a map control, you should go for the forward one, but maybe it's defensive crossbowmen. I think maybe he's trying to do what you were saying, which is some sort of add 1 TC, go Imperial Age very quick while massing crossbowmen from 1 range, maybe. It depends how much TC he adds. That basically comes down to that.
I do see Terror booming. With this amount of wood, he could only really be booming. He's not going to add the Siege Workshop right away, I don't think. He might do 2 TC Siege Workshop and then just like crossbow man go defend, that kind of thing. Maybe some monks. I mean, he's got the 3 relics on the right. It's like, I mean, no matter how aggressive you're going to be, you can't stop someone grabbing at least 2 of those relics.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, especially it's like 4 tiles away from his gate. What time are you at? Just to make sure we're at the exact same time.
I'm at 14:57.
14:57. Oh, I'm at 15. I don't know how we separated. Okay, I'm gonna pause at 15:30. So just tell me when you reach 15:30.
All right. And now.
Okay.
If you do when you click play, did it say speed 50?
It's speed 25 now. Oh shoot! what time are you at now?
I'm at 15:52.
Okay, shoot. Okay, I'm at 50, but I'm behind now. You have to pause.
All right, 16:03.
Okay. Now. Okay.
All right.
Okay, he's making the castle.
Yep, and the light cav are going to go down. Terror did make a spear.
This is what I could have done. I don't know why he tried to do this against me after it didn't work against Terror. That makes no sense to me. Why did he try to do it after? Like, I'm more likely to do this than Terror is. Why would he do that? I guess.
Well, seeing you as students, I was not expecting you to go crossbow. I said if someone was playing well right now, they would go crossbow. I was not expecting you to do it of all people.
I only go scouts when I'm against the Civ where that doesn't have gunpowder or some unique units that kills cavalry easily. I go scouts when I plan on switching to knights. If I can't switch to knights, I mean, or when I think the opponent's going to boom and I just want to run around the map and get relic control. So I never go scouts if I actually think I need to start making an army to defend myself, and knights is not going to do it. That's basically.
Terror is at his 5 advantage, which he gets from FCing his Malole. No extra TCs, but he is going to go on stone, so maybe he does want to get castle up him quite fast. You know, he's thinking along the right lines, I feel.
I didn't like his build order though, I have to say.
Yeah, it was. I've seen some sketchy build orders so far.
That's the gap. Oh no.
It's 55.
But why?
Oh, he's building it.
Okay, good. How does he? Okay, so that okay, so maybe Dracont was thinking, even if they do that, I go back, make some knights and a siege workshop. Okay, that explains it.
Yeah,
But,
he had plans. He's not going to give up this castle, though. I think if he did 5 minutes ago, he would have. Let's say 5 minutes ago.
Terror could have microed that a little bit better and probably won the game already, but.
Terror, micro, same sentence. Spot the problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I don't see why he's not adding a ram. Because obviously he could go monks, get redemption, and then he could just like monk defend, Mangados no problem, and then just ram down the castle.
Oh. He just lost the Maganal. Oh, what time are you at?
I'm at 1957.
Okay, that's fine. We're at the same time now.
Basically where I'm born.
Yeah.
But, market coming off on Dracont. How unbalanced is his economy? It's... Why is he building a market? He hasn't got any resources to buy or sell.
He'll buy 100 stone and then sell 100 food, 100 wood, and buy another 100 stone. He just wants the castle ASAP.
I don't think he'll buy another 100 stone, he's just going to mine it.
No, he bought it.
Well, he bought 100, not 200.
Okay. There we go.
No,
Terror would be doing so much better right now if his build order was better. His build order is what's killing him.
I find it a bit weird because he didn't keep making monks, he didn't keep making crossbows.
That's because his build was so bad. That's it.
Yeah, it just feels weird though, because why would you like not expect them to actually try and keep going aggressive if they're already made it this far?
Yeah. I don't think that was the problem. I think the problem is that he just has no resources. I mean...
gotta love Terror. That's why I watch his stream.
Yeah, so look, it's minute 22, and he hasn't actually made that much stuff, and he's 1 TC. That's the problem. If he had done like 2 or 3 villas later to the castle age, he would have had archers at approximately the same time because they can be massed while advancing to the castle age, as opposed to advancing faster and then massing after. Just there's no difference. If you're going if you're going to make feudal army, you don't need to advance that fast. There's no point. And that messed everything else up. He advanced with like 100 food, 100 wood. He had no res for anything.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't on an RTC now, and it's on stone. He has decent quantity. Did he? Oh, no. He's adding more TCs. What do you think? Yeah. Adding TCs when you've got no army, like you've got nothing, and you have to try and fight this in your base, and you just add TCs. I mean, I could understand the tower, but the TCs, what is that?
I guess it's... He's like, okay, we failed the first thing, and now let's try plan B, which is tower defense. Boom. But the mistake is that it's impossible to work against Turks when your economy starts out this bad. So if he had done 1 extra TC and then tried to go fast him, that might have worked. But 3 was kind of suicide.
Yeah, and the towers aren't going to work anyway, because just trying to set yourself up for a boom when it's like 24 minutes 30 and you know your opponent's probably 1 TC, they should be clicking up about now if they're like properly trying to focus on the fast imp. So it's really risky to do that against the soon to be bomber cannons. But it looks like Dracont's not up. Dracont must have...
There's no way he could be up after all that.
He didn't spend too much food in comparison to before, but yeah, definitely enough. What is Terror going to do?
The towers will work. Like, they will stop the Janissary. The problem is that if Dracont sees that he's going to go invest massively into tower defense, he can just say, okay, that's fine. I'm going to the Imperial Age and destroy them all with cannons. So there's just the strategy could not work. That was the problem.
He did actually kill these Janissaries with 1 mangonel there.
Yeah, that was nice.
The yeah, I don't understand the tower defense because he has no gold to defend. He's got how much gold's left in that tile in the back? Like less than 1k now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
200, 400,
700?
150. Yeah,
700, yeah.
yeah, that's
This is not enough.
yeah. It's as well as spending the stone. Like the stone he could be selling to up get fast Arbalass and monks. You know, stone is really versatile for that, or even
Yeah,
castle
that's-
defense. But all the towers are just a waste.
I think the towers were good considering the fact that he decided to go 3TC. After he made that decision, the towers were the next best option. But I would say that the whole thing is just a bad option. So, like he's kind of. If I was in this position, if I was in Terra's position, I would kind of already want to resign because it's like everything's already gone wrong. You've gone 3TC, you've got 0 food, and the Turks has got full control of the map and 0 vill losses. That's it. That's basically game already.
The only way I could beat this would be like crazy monks and rams. I would not feel like playing it though. Speaking of which, not Terra, Dracont, he still doesn't have a monastery. Seems a bit weird he's not picking up the relics.
Yeah, he's just focusing on the one. I mean, with 1TC pushes like this, it's usually better not to go for the relics because everything depends on how fast you finish your guy off before he manages to outbroom you. So that's why he's not focusing on them. He just cares about getting imp as fast as possible and focusing 100% on killing Terror.
Though just Turks taking Terra's main gold second is kind of out of the question. How much gold do you have left in the back? 350 gold. That's that can. I don't know what can that buy him. That could get him to imp with 50 gold spare. Oh, and he is going outside and taking the massively distant gold.
That's a good idea.
It's the best idea, but it's a risky one. One mangonel and that's all gone.
When you're in a bad position, where there's like 1% chance to win, that's when you take risks. So that's a good risk to take.
Any risk is good in this situation. But
yeah,
looking
exactly.
at economy wise, 20 villagers ahead. I mean, if Terror just stopped making villagers for like a solid 5 minutes, he'd be able to afford so many things. There he goes, he's up. Was he going to make any ups with 3 tiles of gold?
Nothing. There's nothing he can make. He has to research chemistry for cannon. He has to get herb to counter the Janissary, but he's so far from that. And he needs a lot more gold to go for monks. Like, he really is kind of in a broken position.
Another
But
Siege
he's
Workshop.
going for the herbs.
Yeah. 4 Siege Workshop coming up for Dracont. I actually think that's a good idea rather than sticking on the one that's further behind. Just get bomber cannons out to kill the tower race up. That's quite nice thinking.
It's the standard thing at this point for Turks. You've reached you know you're about to reach the Imperial Age. You know that the only thing that the other person could do to stop you is to go Arbs, maybe, or monks. So you just make as many cannons as you possibly can, and as many Janissary, and you just finish the job.
I'm just... I mean, more ranges for Terror, but he's not running a single one of them, so...
Yeah, I mean he's toast really. Like he's just trying his best to come back from this position, but I would have already resigned probably.
I wonder if we're going to see a Dark Noob level resignation from this. You have to probably get like 5 villagers before you GG. But yeah, like the gold is now out of the question. Second stone's out of the question. His main stone is 7 left. That's basically gone. Yeah, what can he even do? What's he been doing? I mean, he's back castle, but
so his plan is Trebuchet Arb, but again, the cannon Janissary will destroy that until he gets like much more Arb mass.
He's gonna have like 2 trebs by the time he's against like 8 bomber cannons. This is
exactly. Yeah.
I guess. I believe he should just be GGing about now. I don't really remember the game.
That's it. That's exactly it. He lost the way I see Arena when these type of...
And Discord just GG'd itself apparently. Discord dead completely. We're going to move to TeamSpeak.
Connected. User entered your channel.
Where to?
Channel created. User joined your channel.
Okay,
Okay, hopefully.
we're back.
With any luck.
And things look bad.
Yeah, things look really bad. I need to quickly ramp up the volume. I don't remember how to do that.
You right click.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, wait.
I might have just got it. I need the plebs in my chat to let me know if the volume sounds good again.
Yeah, it's a bad sign when you've got less arbalists than the guy who's got Janissary. Already, that's like... Yeah, he can't come back.
Dracont even has decent armor upgrades on his Janissaries. That's how good it's getting.
I'm surprised he hasn't cancelled 3 bills to get the last one. I probably would have sold 100 wood to get the last one. But,
Yeah, but it's over.
So-
Terror's now lost his base. He's going to be just trying to fight the castle in the back. The stone outside, gold outside, I mean. It's still maybe 1k-ish gold on the outside gold.
Yeah, he has access to gold. The problem is just his eco isn't nearly as strong above Dracont's as it should be for him sacrificing map control. Everything that has gone wrong has been because his build order was not ideal for Melee. Everything was just snowballed from there.
Yeah, you know that thing where I said that Terror's going to have 2 trips when there's 8 bomber cannons? I was wrong, he's only got 1.
Not even. Yeah. Oh, it's Karambit's though.
What is he planning to do with Karambits? Like send 30 around and just try and snipe the bomber cannons with like the 2 damage because he can't even afford an upgrade on them.
Yeah, the 100 HP cannons. Okay. He's taking a battle now.
And he's just sitting there with our blast getting wrecked. The Karambits basically disappeared. So
What time are you at?
I'm at 39:30.
Oh yeah, I'm around the same. Okay. Yeah, what Karambits? I don't see any Karambits.
Yeah, it's his what is he even doing? Like he sends his blast forward to hit nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I would have tried to do the same thing. It's just at some point you realize that you really are just dead. You can't win.
I mean, where did he even get the knight from? I would be more excited if he made elephants.
I think the best chance he has is to snipe all the Janissary and micro away out of all the shots. That would be the only chance he has. But I think he was trying to snipe the cannons instead. But I'm pretty sure it's better to go for the Janissary and just hope that you can avoid all the cannon shots.
He does still have the trebs to fight the cannons. I mean, they can't get that close. He does have enough, like, if I was Dracont, I would just run in with like 4 cannons on each treb to knock them out of the way as I can right now. Like, you might lose a couple, but that's not the big, big thing when you win the game, but I
At this
don't
point,
know.
Dracont stopped playing. He's like, I've already won this game. There's no points. There's nothing that could go wrong. I would be thinking the same thing.
I would, maybe we saw monks, that might be a little bit better.
Yeah. The problem with the monks is that you need all the upgrades because the cannons, if he gets the extra +2 range, actually have more range than the monks, so the cannons can snipe the monks. So I mean, it's not even a great solution.
Yeah, I'm just a guy that loves monks, but this is so over. This is how Dark Noob learned how to resign. He watched too much Terror, and then Skoko joined in, and now we're just gonna have this big group of clowns that resign after like 4 villagers.
Yeah.
To be fair, they are still on equal villager numbers. Dracont's been just keeping the 1TC going, and it's been working well for him.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that Terra only would have a chance against this type of strategy if he had like double the bills the whole time. But being equal is already like, I think if he knew that they were equal bills, he would probably resign right now. I think he's just desperately hoping that he's like 20 bills ahead.
Yeah, if he had like some way of like killing every single BBC right now, and I mean every single one, then he might have some kind of chance. But like, I mean, even his own golds are almost gone because he'd be mined by Dracont. So
I guess that's true. If he managed to have a really, really nice battle and he could micro really well and kill everything, he could still win this game. But Dracont's not really going to let that happen.
yeah,
Again, he needs the Janissary. He has to kill the Janissary, not the cannons.
And again, this is watching Terror Micro, which is not usual.
Yeah, because like you saw the battle just there. He goes in, and the Janissary are all in front, and he's got scatter formation on his arms. If he had just one-shot every single Janissary there, he might have actually still managed to kill everything.
Oh, the mining camp on the extra stone up north. That's
He doesn't have enough time. I understand. It's like you just everything is for the arms, so you just go really quickly to the side, put the mining camp down, and just back to the arms again. I was like, forget this. It'll sort itself out.
yeah, those idles for like 5 minutes, but at least he still has some villagers outside. But he's now behind the villager count, and the military is. I mean, he does have a lot of ARPs. He is not losing as many as it looks like he's losing, or at least he's replacing them fast enough, which I don't really know how he's constantly doing, but...
He still has some gold reserves, and he has 3 relics. Yep. He has 3 relics. He's making another trip.
I mean, maybe if he does like... He has like 8 trebs, he might have a chance.
Yeah, this is where Dracont realizes that it's not going to be easy to finish this phase off. You just can't, not with cannons, if the trebs are nicely positioned behind the castle. And the Janissary, he's got enough arbalists to win it. So he's like, okay, let's do 4TC reboom and Hussar finish it.
Hussar, maybe Cavalier, probably Cavalier, I'm thinking.
Oh, yes, he has extra golds, actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he has a lot of gold. Yeah. Like, food is his only problem, and he'd save more by making Cavalier than Hussar.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, if you know that you've stolen both enemies' gold mines, then Cavalier is a better option, that's true. And he's got 0 food and 1k gold, as he said, so...
Terror just trying to reboom on the outside, melee with no gold, when you don't have the, any techs really, is not a good thing.
Yeah. In fairness to Terror, he could have still won it if he just had a really nice battle and killed all the Janissary, and then killed all the cannons. But...
yeah, if he was in this dream world. But that's like expecting this tournament to not have any drama. You know how that turns out. I'm surprised we don't see artillery from Dracont. That would be really nice for the trebs at the moment. He could have probably cleared that up quite a bit easier if he managed to get artillery at some point.
Yeah, I think so. How much range does the capsule have? 11?
It's not expensive on... how expensive is like 400 stone? 450 stone, 500 gold? Yeah, you could easily afford that. But the Cavalier are going to do the job anyway, if he makes them. Yeah, Cavalier coming in.
He's thinking that the problem isn't the castle anymore. The problem is that Terror actually has a lot of arbalists, so he just needs to be comfortable in killing the arbalists, and that's why he's going for the Cavalier. Yeah.
But to be fair, every arbalest that Terror loses, he cannot afford to replace, so...
Yeah. I mean... Dracont's like, okay, this game's over, but I don't want to have any chance of losing. I'm so sure I can't lose this, but let's just be really sure I can't lose this and start adding all the farms.
Yeah, I mean, when you go 1TC and you have this big of a Vil lead, that's I do like the fact he actually did decide to boom after a while. Maybe a little bit late, but it still works.
It was the right time. It was the right time. He wanted to make sure that Terror was stuck in his base for good. And once that was the case, then it's okay to start rebooming. If you try to reboom a bit earlier, then there's a possibility that you'll lose a micro battle because you're busy macroing, and then everything can snowball out of control from there.
This game literally ended 25 minutes ago. Why is this still?
I mean,
And
this tournament game.
there's so many ways both these players could have played this, but I do like the picks. I mean, the best Rajas if you could really pick would be Malay, because Burmese would just be kind of suicide to pick, and Vietnamese is at the pinnacle of good civs these days.
Burmese isn't as bad as is it like they do have a strong monk push once you see early monk push.
I like it, and I like the monk defense, but I'm not a fan of going iron by, and I don't know, I like their halb ram later on, because I just feel the halbs just shred everything with extra attack. It's like no unit even counter them, so
Yeah.
so we always feel about Japanese, and the trebs are going down, so that's like, what is Terra gonna do now?
Putting the veil on the coffin.
Finally, the +4 Cavalier coming in.
There we go.
But
This will finish the game.
Terra researching pikemen. How did he learn about the Cavalier?
Oh, it's because he knows that it's not about that he knows that they're there. It's that he already has a lot of arbalists, and he's thinking to himself, "What can go wrong now? How can I really get finished off?" And he's thinking that the only way that could happen is if Dracont suddenly comes out with a pile of Hussars or Cavaliers. So he starts adding the. It's also because he hasn't seen Dracont attack for the last. Okay, now they're fighting, but Dracont was just camping for the last 10 minutes. That also gives him a clue that he's switching to a different unit.
The fight up north, there is no unit to raid. You can't really raid that easily with Arbalast and Skirms, especially with the stables at home. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to accomplish much. In the meantime, the main fight, I mean, the Barbicans are getting cleaned up, but so are all the trebs. The Arbalasts are going down, and when the Arbs are down, Terror can't replace them, so... Oh, but all bomber cannons are down. That's a good engagement in the middle. For Terror,
Now he's
at least.
losing his arms to the castle. No. Just lost 10 orbs to a castle there.
Yeah, I'm sitting watching them die. I might be a few seconds behind, but that's okay. I think
I'll pause for a second.
I'm at 54, 55.
54, 55?
Yeah,
Oh, mine's going faster for some reason.
my clearly potato PC.
What time are you now?
55, 18.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 55, 26.
I'm at 30, but that's okay.
That's that. Now I'm at 30.
It's, we don't have to care about seconds. Nothing is happening anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Well, like, Terra's army's kind of dead now. He did a nice boom on the side, but...
Yeah.
Halberdier?
He can't afford Halberdier. He has like 200 gold, and that's from relics. He has no mines. Yeah, it's GG.
He knows it's over now because he lost his critical army mass, so... And his push on the top didn't work because Dracont's got a castle there, so...
Dracont has no siege though to take down that castle with, so he's just gonna have to try and raid is the best he could really do, but... Iron Castle coming in.
Castle there. Yeah.
No. He's got balls.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no trebs. Neither of them have trebs. Neither of them can have... Terra can't afford trebs, so why not?
I feel Dracont still needs to overbeam a little bit, just give himself like 140 villagers and then just eventually delete them when he caps out on pop, but...
Yeah, I agree. It's a safer option, but I think at this point, he's seeing what's left of the Terra's armor and he's concluded that Terra has nothing left, so he's kind of waiting for the resign, which is...
I mean, Terror did have a lot of villas towards the late game, like enough, so if he actually managed to hold for a bit, he could get like full boomed economy. If he actually had techs, like actual infantry upgrades, then he might have had a better chance at surviving the late game, but...
Help, he needed help. If he got help, he might have held on a bit longer. But,
yeah.
Dracont's got 2 relics and has got still a pile of gold mines, so he would then switch to heavy cavalry archer and finish the job, so...
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Achievements, anything's worth looking at, or should I just cry myself to sleep? 2.7k relic gold for Terror is the only thing keeping him alive, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. Power of relics. The kill death ratio not so good.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty impressive KD right there.
I mean, that's just what happens when you're fighting Turks, I guess.
So apparently the next game is really interesting. I don't know, Josh was just saying it.
Ooh, I'm looking forward now.
I don't even know where anything is anymore. I've kind of lost track of reality.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, no, Terror didn't win. That was Dracont. There we go. This new scoreboard is nice, but like the scores are vertical, so I can never keep track of which one's player 1 and player 2. I'm just too much of a pleb. You want to just go straight into game 2?
Yep, I'm at 2 seconds.
I have no idea why that game started at 28. That was weird.
A drop, maybe? Maybe they didn't. No, it wasn't a drop because they started with 3. Or was it a?
Don't really know.
maybe they dropped and they just didn't bother including the wreck because it was like 28 seconds.
All right, so you ready to go?
Are you at 2?
Now I am.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Alright, so another recap of this game. This is Malay Dracont. Is this the one where he debates terror? I think so. Or was that Dark Nip? I don't know. You're about to see it. I like I can remember just a few things from when I was looking through the recs. I think this might someone got Malay and they did a debate like the 22 plus 10 or whatever as Malay.
Oh yeah, that's not as much debating. Well, I mean, you could say it was, but it's also just a decent build. It's a fine build.
It's like minus 600 res or something now. It's
really.
Yeah, I did the calculations on it. Like the amount you save on the wood on the farms is like tiny. Was it? Horse collar adds a third of the food, so you could essentially assume that you get a third of the food, a third of the wood saved, which is 20. But that only applies to like 6 farms because you'd only build 6 farms before horse collar when doing a normal FC anyway. So it's like you only save like 120-ish wood and you're like 2 villagers behind for minutes and you're like so many hundreds behind resources in the end. I did some like massive long calculation post on it back in the day, but I couldn't find it. But I do think it was a debate for a trash though, because
I don't know. Whenever calculations are done, it kind of feels like, okay, this is the answer, but then you try something weird, and then it always feels better. And then it's like, is there more to it than that? I don't know.
Yeah,
I tried the Mali build before.
A lot of things feel better, but yeah, I mean, it would feel great to do like a 30 pop Dark Age of a game, but it's not gonna happen, is it? So
yeah.
But then again, that actually would be better. But well, at least you get resources. Taking a look at the map though, looking at Dracont's being Malay with the safe stones. I mean, against Aztecs, is stones going to be that big? I mean, castle defense maybe, but if they're just like staying 1 TC monks, that kind of thing, you're probably going to be pretty broken by that. So Malay against Aztecs is definitely a difficult one. You can beat them to imp, but can you really do too much with it?
Well, the thing is that Karambits beat a lot of things Aztecs make, so actually I'd rather have Malay in this matchup. It's because, I mean, think about it. What do Aztecs build against Karambits in the Castle Age?
It depends. I mean, you'd have to be... I don't see Castle Age Karambits making that big of a dent even on monks, though.
Well, the thing is, monks convert things, so the more expensive the units, the better value the monks are. When the unit you're converting is like 30 res to make, it's like the worst possible thing for monks ever. So if you go and make a castle early with Malay, and then you research both attacks, forget about the armor, who cares about the armor? You get like 40 Karambits and swarm the 20 monks, and you should be able to kill, like, you should be able to do pretty well on that trade, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if I was saying Civs like beat Aztecs, I would say students and Malay. Malay are definitely up there just because I like the fast up to stronger units, but I don't know, I generally don't really consider making karambits against Aztecs too often.
That would be
Again,
like that's the go-to in my opinion. What else? I mean, ARPs. I mean, you can counter that with Eagles SO, so it's only good for a short amount of time. I mean, it can work. You can get away with ARPs. What about elephants? Well, Aztecs, if they go full monks, it's kind of. I mean, it's dangerous. What else do Malay have? It's just basically that karambits, monks, or elephants, right? For ARPs.
True. But having a look over at Terror's map as Aztecs, Terror's not a big monk player, he's not going to go monks anyway. But his map's looking pretty decent here. I mean, safe 2 stones, one being main, one being second, safe extra stone. Sorry, golds.
Yeah.
I've confused gold for stone like 400 times in the past 2 weeks. It's not even funny. So.
His map is good. I would be very content with that map if I was Terror.
What is Dracont going to open with is the question.
I don't have a clue. I don't know how these guys play. I always think I can predict them, and then I'm like, nope, I cannot predict them. Just don't have a clue.
My money is on Terror's going to do 25+2 because once he basically never learned any build. So at one point he started to learn one proper build, 25+2, and then he started doing it with every single civ. And without eco bonuses, it worked for some civs because he had so much idle time, and that's the way it's been for months now. It's just 25+2 every other game. It's.
Oh no. Okay, that's actually. It looks like there's a good chance he hasn't made the. Oh, he is making the house.
It's
We'll
just.
see if you're right.
It's so Terror.
Oh, he's. Wait, what?
He's getting loom because Dracont upped so fast. He might be expecting the trush.
Oh,
See
you're
what
right.
Dracont's saying in chat.
Dracont is debating him.
Yeah,
Dracont
but
is debating him.
yeah, obviously he didn't go in stone. He went for this build, so he knew that was not the issue. So that's quite some debate right there. But he put himself in quite a bit of a worse position because of it.
Yeah, the thing is, if I were him at this point, I would say, okay, I got Loom, now it's 10 builds forward and do a Monk Rush, because you gotta use Loom somehow, so that's when I'd change plan, but nah, he's not gonna do that.
Just casually trush him as Aztecs, we'll see how that works. That's, I don't know, we might see some YOLO stuff from Terror, but...
Nah, I don't think he's booming nowadays.
I think he's gonna open double monastery, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. A double monastery behind it, comfortable for ETC boom, and he'll just be patient with the relics. He'll be happy to just take 2. Same with for Dracont, I'd say. Dracont will probably go like cavalry, the way this is going. Oh yeah, he'll probably go like cavalry.
Well, he could go crossbows. It depends on, like, if you look at his villager count, he's got what, like 4 or 5 more villagers left before he has to click up the castle age to be up at the right time. So he's gonna have to really hammer on the gold, like send a lot of villagers to it. So he might go crossbow with that.
Yeah, he could. I still think crossbow is risky against Aztecs because if Aztecs decides to start with eagles, that's really bad. You don't want to go expo against a meso starting with eagles. But we'll see. I think notice that they're very far apart. The farther you are apart, the more beneficial it is to start with like cavalry and just run around the place sniping things.
Yeah, I mean, they have okay maps, but the lack of gold for Dracont is a bit worrying. He needs to... I don't quite know what he's going to consider. Maybe... What's he going to do if he does go like Cav though? Is he just going to boom with like some risky TCs?
Like Cav boom, I'd say. I think he's I don't know what his plan would be if Terra was actually going really aggressive monks. I think it's more likely that Dracont's just guessing that Terra is actually just going to boom with some monasteries. So that's why it looks like his plan is to just go like cavalry and then just to add 2 TCs and boom behind running around the map like cavalry.
I'm just enjoying Terror's wall at the front of his base with all the holes in it. But if he does get pushed, I don't know. I mean, if I was Malay in this situation, I'd probably be thinking a little bit more go aggressive when you got like a 5 villager lead. You go like Cav and you see that your opponent is just sitting there booming, because At that point, you do still have a decent small advantage.
There's no need to go aggressive super fast. What I've noticed is that if you decide to start attacking off 2 TCs, you actually have a really small window to do damage or get really nice castle map control before it's actually too late, and that guy will outboom you, outmacro you, and you're just in a bad situation. So it's kind of get 3 TCs rolling, and then decide what to do, or go very aggressive 1 TC. The way he's playing, the way his build is right now, it's pretty clear he's not going to do 1 TC aggression. So it's it should be 3 TC behind this, I think.
Dracont's castle each time is not ideal, but he does have wheelbarrow, so it's a decent saving grace. He's gonna have to really like hammer on the boom after this, though. He's gonna have to add the 2 TCs immediately.
The mistake is that he has too much wood. Look at his wood.
Well, monastery 2 TCs.
I
think the monastery does sponge enough of it. He has a lot of farms, so that's the thing. He's not gonna need the wood to add more farms soon to run TCs because he's got a lot of food, a lot of farms.
If he had added a few more farms earlier, then he would have just enough wood to make a TC, a monastery, maybe get the wood upgrade, and then add another TC very soon after, which is perfect. As it is, he's what?
Yeah, he has very little.
You see, the thing is, he's got a lot of excess wood right now. He is adding a TC, but he doesn't have much food. And he's getting like cavalry, so I think he could have done the build a bit better. But it's not a huge deal. But
I think this is quite a lot of farms to open with a 3 TC boom, though. Like if he had a TC right now, I think he could run it quite fine. He still has like 100+ berries worth, so that's going to help him start out.
But remember that his farms are not going to run out, so it's actually okay to add an extra 4 farms, have that spike of food. And since none of your farms run out, that means you can save up for a 3rd TC very soon after with the food economy to sustain it. That's the thing.
The question is,
don't want to have... Yeah?
I'm just wondering where some of his food just went. Ah, the TC on the front.
The TC on the front thing. That's it. So, I mean, his build is fine, but it could be better. That's just what I'm saying.
It could always be better. I'm a higher elo than you, so it must be better.
You just don't want to have 300 wood floating around not being used when you reach the castle age. You want to reach the castle age and just go 0, for eco upgrades and stuff. If you have 300 wood, it means that you didn't plan ahead to make a farm or 2 beforehand.
Inspired by novices.
There's the 3 TCs behind like cavalry getting the relics.
But yeah, I mean, he's 1 villager ahead, of course. Terror does not have wheelbarrow, as far as I remember. I didn't see it. Oh, Terror does have wheelbarrow. They're pretty much equal at this point.
That's why I don't like booming, because you do the math and you realize that you're only like 3 vills ahead of the other person, so it's just not worth it.
Yeah, you're only
ahead.
You're only a couple vills ahead every single minute, because of course they still got 1 TC running. But I mean, it feels a bit weird that Dracont's only 2 now equal villagers when they're both on 3 TCs, and he's melee with the 5 villager advantage. It feels like he did throw that one a little bit.
No, I mean, going like cavalry, getting a monastery immediately, you're always going to... Basically, the light cavalry investment is a -5 vills thing to the person who's doing the pure boom. And since he's melee, it's now dead even. Or he's ahead, but maybe it's because Terra wasn't building vills for a second or something.
That always sounds quite right. Terra's never building vills.
Yeah.
I don't know what the plan here is, though. I mean, 5 relics is always nice, not just because they give you gold, but because Aztecs have such good use for them, so taking that away is what you want.
That's exactly it. The question Dracont needs to ask himself now is, does he want to go karambits? Does he want to go elephants? Or does he want to immediately go into an unlimited 200 swordsman spam? And I'd say he's... I don't know.
against Aztecs, when you're talking about Terror didn't go monk rush. He's not gonna like mass 20 monks in Imperial Age. It's not really his style. So maybe more expensive units might be along the lines of things. Maybe bomber cannons. Maybe the possibility of elephants. But you know, it's dodgy whether it's gonna work. You're against Aztecs after all.
Yeah, I think I would personally start with Karambits and then wait for the Aztec player to swap to a counter to Karambits, and the only real counter they have is Jaguar Warriors, I think, because Arbalists without Thumb Ring are just quite good enough to stop Karambits, unless you attack really, really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like if he starts with Karambits, what's the Aztec going to do? He can't really fight that until he gets Mass Champion or Mass Jaguar Warrior, but then Mali can then immediately swap to. Actually, what do they swap to? I don't know. Arb.
You're always kind of gonna end up finding yourself dealing with some kind of weird combination. I mean, would we see something along the lines of? I was thinking Eagle Orb, but
From Aztec?
yeah, I don't see
Eagle
that
Orb.
happening really.
I think Eagle is super risky if you're against Malik, because if you start with Eagle and the other guy starts with Karambits, you've already lost the game. There's just no coming back from that. That's the thing. There's a lot of rock paper scissors guesswork here. If one starts with Jaguars and the other starts with Arbs or Elephants, then that's bad, because then you have to like suddenly stop off production, research pikemen, get Garland Wars, and then start producing those, but it takes time. Whereas if the Aztec starts with Eagle Warrior and the Mali starts with Arb or something like that, that's also a disaster. So there's a lot of scouts intel needed.
And only one player has the real map control at the point. Although, to be fair, Terror is going out into the map with the outposts. He's not getting forwarded, he knows that. Dracont. Seen the castle come up for Dracont? I mean, is he actually planning Karambits, or is he just planning to trip? I don't see any other military buildings.
Could be Karambits. I like Dracont's position more because he's got full map control, full map scouting. If Terror starts adding military buildings, he's very likely to be able to see what they are. Whereas Terror has no idea whatsoever what Dracont's going to do now.
I'm just going to quickly see if I could see Doubt anywhere. Because his ability to disappear on time is unparalleled.
Oh, trust me, I know. I understand. You don't need to. He's
Oh, what's the point of having semi-finals if neither of them happen? That's.
Look. I've been through so many tournaments recently where the other person was a day not checking the scheduling forum or whatever, or all this stuff, and there's no solution.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky one, but there's still 20 minutes for Doubt actually needs to show up, so hopefully.
Let's hope.
And the random villager forward for Terror, that's in his style very much so.
What about what time are you at right now, just to double check?
I'm at 28:35.
Oh, perfect, actually, so time.
Nothing's going wrong. That's spoke too soon. But yeah, looking at villager count, Terror's definitely heading the boom. Dracont is going full Karambit upgrades right now. He's even getting Heresy. He has.
Yeah.
Why is he getting Heresy for just Karambits and he's not expecting mass monks? That seems like a little bit of a waste. Maybe he's got some really far ahead thinking.
The only reason you go Heresy right now is if you think that you've got a combination of units that can absolutely beat everything Aztecs has whatsoever, and Heresy is part of that combination. So getting Heresy tells me that he's going to switch to something that he cares about being converted, so that probably means he's going to switch to Elephants.
Either that or possibly two-handed swordsmen, because still in the spam they're still convertible. They're not quite fast enough to snipe the monks.
It's true, but part of the thing is he wouldn't care as much about the early investment if he was going to do that, because he's assuming that Terror would actually make monks to counter it. but he doesn't see much monks at the moment. It's only like 3 monks, so there's no reason to get heresy for 200 swordsmen versus 3 monks. The reason he's getting it is because he's planning on switching to something that will need heresy, because he's going to do something which will make Terror start wanting to make monks more.
Yep, such as the elite Jaguar warrior we just saw come in for Terror. He's now getting conscription, he's building more back castles, he's going to try and mass a lot of Jags. Jags are really strong, but when it comes to the melee, I'm thinking he doesn't make Arbalast, so the Elephants, yeah, it's kind of... If he goes Elephants, yep, adding stables, it's kind of out of blind luck, but it's definitely a good option in this case.
Yeah, I like how Dracont's just running around the perimeter showing his karambits, like, oh, I'm going karambits and like cavalry. But he still doesn't have elite, so Terror should be kind of a bit
Elite's just kicked in.
Oh, he's got elite now? Okay, that's good. Yeah, right now, Terror's probably thinking that he's massing like a big army of 120 karambits, and only showing 10 of them.
To be fair, at this point, there is a lot of distance between them. Jaguars is not a really mobile combo to really take any good engagements.
They're kind of fast. I think they're faster than Champion. I mean,
I don't know. We have a guy in chat that always looks at these statistics. Joshua, can you give us those numbers? That would be interesting to know. But yeah, what's Terror going to do? Are we actually seeing Elephants coming out yet, or is he just going to be waiting for a bit? None yet.
I think the way Dracont's playing right now, in fact, the way both of them are playing right now suggests to me that both of them think that they've got a civ that should win in post-up, which is kind of funny that they both simultaneously think that they have the civ that will win.
Oh, and the Jaguars though, they're just being shown directly to Dracont.
Yeah.
Even the Garland Wars shows, so that's really nice for him going Elephants. He can make a good decision now.
This is where Terror should think, what are the counters to Jaguars that Dracont is automatically going to switch to? He's obviously not going to stay Karambits, so the things to worry about are not 200 swordsmen. The things to worry about are Herbalist and Elephants. Those are the only 2 things Melee have that destroy Jaguar warriors. I don't think... Is there anything else they have that I'm missing?
Jaguars are 10% faster than Champs, apparently.
Okay. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything that counters Jaguar from Melee, except Elephants and Herbalist. Yeah. So that means Terror should be trying to scout out right now whether Dracont's got the attack upgrades on his castles to find out if it's Herbalist. And if he doesn't have that, then he should assume that Dracont's switching to Elephants.
To be fair, as Joshua says, Melee Heavy Scorp apparently might be good. I don't know, I never use Scorps ever.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's actually somewhat reasonable. I mean...
The problem with that is that it's kind of the same thing as Herbalist in that the way for Aztecs to counter it is to make Siege Onagers. But yet, it's actually, that's a semi-decent option at the moment.
Does Terror know that Melee don't have hand cannoneer? Because he thought that the other day, that they had HC.
I don't know.
I don't know if by this point he'd realised that they didn't actually have it or not. I'm not sure if anyone told him.
Well, he sees the elephants now. It's like, hello.
Yeah, they're already fully upgraded, so what's he gonna do when they just walk through the door? Like, start researching pikemen, sure, start maybe making 1 or 2 monks, but he has to throw down a lot of buildings in this tiny building space he's got, just to be able to, like, at least start countering them, which are now breaking into his base, so... Too late to the party.
I like the fact that he is panic spamming down a pile of barracks, because that's what he should be doing. Problem is, he's 200 pop, and he has 0 units that can fight elephants. He honestly needs to delete, like, I don't know, something. Some hills, some Jaguar wars. I mean, there's no point in deleting them.
Yeah, might as well just take the fight and then just start rebuilding. I don't know why he's really running from the elephants. I reckon the Jaguars will die to the Ellies quite quick, but I reckon he can still tank a decent few while he adds in pikes afterwards.
Jaguar warriors are going to get shredded. See, that's actually what he's doing. He knows that he needs to get pike fed, so he's taking a bad fight just to to reduce his pop so he can get pikes going.
Yeah, but the rate that the Karambits towards the bottom are getting murdered is insane. But the Karambits down, that just frees up a lot of population for Dracont to start making more elephants. So, like,
Yeah.
even if he has like 10 rag spamming pikes right now, he'd have a hard time even trying to fight this. Dracont's still adding in Karambits along with Trebs, and all his stables are queued up more than 2 elephants in each, so...
Yeah, Dracont is in a strong position, but the mistake Terra's making at the moment is that he needs to mass his pikemen before fighting, so he's starting to do that now, but before that he was just sending a stream into the elephants, which was just dying immediately.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could see that would be better for either player is... Actually, I just noticed that Terra has all the Trebs and Jaguars just sitting in the middle of the map towards the top. That's...
Oh no.
What's going on with that?
Oh, he's got Eagle Warrior, I didn't even realize that.
But yeah, I mean, if Dracont built some more forward buildings, he would have no chance of losing this, but the thing is, he's pretty much already won this. When you're raiding economy with elephants, it's like, what do you do to stop that?
The reason why Dracont has won this is also that he can anytime switch to full two-handed swordsman spam, which then is a nice 0 gold units that counters the Aztec pikemen. So, I mean, he's pretty relaxed at the moment. It's like, okay, even if you kill my elephants, I've now got full map control. I can switch to 200 swordsmen and counter you with pikemen, so...
The sell prices for resources are still quite good, so... Oh my god, I just realized, where the hell did Terra get 500 gold from? 5k gold from?
He didn't spend anything. He made his one army of Jaguars, and then switched to full trash, so...
I thought they were quite expensive, aren't they?
The Jaguars?
Yeah.
They're only 30 gold, so...
That's
like
not too bad,
40
actually. I thought they were a bit more expensive. Maybe it's the time I was thinking of that.
Yeah, 40 of them is just 1,200 gold, right? So,
Sorry?
40 Jaguars is like almost just... is only like 1k gold, so... That's why he's got 5k.
Yeah, 1.2k.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, rounding down.
Yeah, he's really...
He's messed up now, he's dead.
Yeah, there's he could spam pikes into this for infinite, but he's still got the army sitting in the middle of the map. Like, he has a Treb in range of a castle that's just sitting there doing nothing, unpacked, ready to fire, and it's just...
Just chilling, like, why not? if you don't start attacking the castle, then Dracont doesn't notice that it's there, and everyone's happy.
Oh man, Terra just panic repairing his castle.
Yeah, but they're Aztec castles, they have no upgrades.
Yeah, only Aztecs and Vietnamese don't get masonry, I think. And of course Byzantines for Byzantine reasons.
Oh man, well... I think Terra's mistake was just lack of intel.
Well,
Yeah.
I've always said that the Aztec's weakness is mass heavy cavalry in the late game, and elephants kind of fill that role quite heavily.
The pikemen are pretty good. I think the reason why it went so badly is that he let the snowball take too much damage. He needed to attack faster, in my opinion. Yeah, that's it. He just needed to come outside his base a bit faster with the Dragon Wars, see what was going on, and then have the time to replace his army before Dracont was treading his castles. That was it.
Dracont does have a lot of villager count. That's pretty significant, 130. I mean, he is making elephants, but
That's about
he's
right.
gonna have to clear out some villagers he wants to switch. But of course, it's GG, so he doesn't have to bother with that.
130 vills is actually, it's approximately right for post-up arena, I think, actually.
It depends. I mean, I fluctuate between 120 and 140 depending on the unit at the time and depending on gold availability, really. But
When your gold mines are done, think about the lumberjack to farmer ratio. Melee can make 200 swordsmen, so I would say if you had 90 farmers and 30 lumberjacks, that might be too... Okay, maybe it's too much, but it depends on what type of... Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I would say that's a bit overkill there. That's I would go like 75 farmers if I'm trying to run a whole bunch of racks and they're dying quickly. I would still say 75 farmers is enough to run that. A bunch of 200s, for example.
Depends how fast they're dying. Because you also... I guess it depends which civ... What units you need to make that cost gold, because a lot of civs need to stay that extra 20 mil so that they can sell for gold.
Yeah, I usually sell a lot of wood to get gold for siege when I'm doing kind of cheap combinations.
Yeah, that's it. So the thing is, if you're melee and you've got the 200 swordsman that costs no gold, that means you don't need as much bills because you don't need as much gold. So maybe 120 is fine for melee. It's true.
Yeah, that's a definite interesting game. I think at least the debate worked. Again, Loom, I'm not entirely sure how much that screwed with Terror.
Didn't do much, I think.
It just made him late, but then again, his idle time would have done that anyway, so it's...
And it's also like, you're a bit later, but your bills have a bit extra time to work, which means when you do reach the next stage, you have that little bit extra resources to, so it's not, I would probably notice zero difference if you had two people doing the same strategy as Terror, one with the Loom, one with the no Loom. By the time you reach the Imperial Age, there would be very little difference. It'd be pretty negligible, I think.